Former Secretary Tom Ridge, he's also a former governor, said it would be a, quote, cold day in hell before he let uninvited federal agents into one of his cities. Joining us now, former Homeland Security Secretary himself, Tom Ridge. He served in the George W. Bush administration. Why are you against the White House acting unilaterally to send in these federal officers?
First of all, Stephanie, if you don't mind, I want to tip my hat to Mayor Lucas. I thought his response to your questions was so thoughtful, so reasonable, so appropriate. And I also detected the fact that he had no idea what the feds were doing in his community. And so I guess it got a little colder, because you'll never be able to take a reality TV approach to solve such serious problems unless you coordinate the activity. And it's quite apparent that they haven't even coordinated the activity at the federal level, let alone coordinated with the state and local officials. So, yes, I think it's wrong for any. I mean, I would suggest to the president, you could ask your vice president as a former governor whether or not he would approve of uninvited unilateral intervention in any of his cities. And would he not prefer that that kind of conduct be coordinated to address a serious long-term problem?
Yes, sir, but this is also political. And we both know that the president wants to be able to say he's sending the feds in, and they mean business. And these mayors who are seeking coordination are just resisting.
Well, I think they have a right to resist. Again, in the sense that these are men and women, state and local, Republicans and Democrats, that experience the challenges associated with the lawlessness, and nobody approves of the lawlessness. Everybody abhors it. But there are economic and social factors that are involved in it as well. It is a complex series of problems, and unless and until the federal government is willing to make a long-term commitment at multiple levels and to do it in collaboration with the mayors and the governors. And I dare say, you ask any Republican governor, and the focus has been, unfortunately, the president keeps referring to these Democrat-led cities. Well, the Democrats in those cities also represent Republicans that live in those cities, and the Republicans don't like the lawlessness either. And the Republicans in those cities would like to see a coordinated approach. It's like we did at DHS. The feds work with the states and the locals. That's the only way you can address these long-term serious problems. It's not a 1-hour reality TV show. These are lingering problems, and a quick incursion in, a couple of arrests, a macho kind of approach toward law and order, and the lawlessness will emerge as soon as they leave town unless they systematically work in concert with local officials. It's really disappointing. I just can't believe that this administration is doing that. And obviously, they don't have enough people around them that have been involved in serious crime investigation and collaboration and work with the state and locals. And I don't care what their party is. It's not a political philosophy. You got to clean up the streets and deal with economic and social problems. And they decided just to turn this into a TV show, a quick splash, and 4 months before the election. And I condemn it. It's wrong and it's irresponsible.
Then, given all that you've just laid out, is there any reason why you believe things are going to get coordinated or fixed in the next 4 months?
Well, Stephanie, it was interesting to listen to Mayor Lucas. And again, I got to tip my hat to this man. I thought his response to your questions and how he's conducted himself, clearly they haven't coordinated with the mayor of the city. And as he pointed out, it looks like my old department and the Department of Justice haven't coordinated their activity, at least their public messaging either. So they ought to start and coordinate it at the federal level and then reach down and talk to the governors and to the mayors and the U.S. attorneys in those communities, regardless of their political persuasion. They all want help, but they want sustained help, they want responsible help, and they want coordinated help, period. It has nothing to do with their politics. It has everything to do with their commitment to try to create safe and secure communities. And the president needs to embrace that and be much more supportive than trying to make political hay out of Democratic cities. Well, there's a lot of Republicans that live in those cities, Mr. President, and they want safe streets too. And they'd like you to be helping those mayors rather than condemning them on political grounds.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.